On the Brisbane River, which only flooded recently, again, they're still cleaning up the damage. And this is the town hall where Bill McKibbon is about to speak to about 400 people. This is the concise, Australian-centric version of the Do the Maths tour. Enjoy.
Before I got here, the head of the Australian coal industry gave a talk, so was welcoming me.
On the 8th of April, the Sydney Morning Herald reported Bill McKibbon of 350.org out of the USA as saying that Australian coal mining has become a rogue industry. Now this sinful image is widely promoted by the self-styled planetary saints, and the authors of such views are rarely seriously questioned about how they arrived at the view or whether the facts upon which they rely are really facts at all. Now, 12 hours after Mr. McKibbon's comments were reported, ABC TV referred to North Korea as a rogue state. And that made me think, is it possible that the Australian coal industry really bears any comparison to a demented autocracy that is threatening the world with nuclear war?
Her question, not mine. Just the coal that's currently on the books, if it gets expanded in the way that the government and industry currently plans, it fills up 30% of the available atmospheric space between us and 2 degrees. Australia's a very nice place, but it's not quite 30% of the world's population, okay? All the fossil fuel companies and the countries that operate like fossil fuel companies, think Venezuela or Kuwait, how much they had in their reserves already, okay? And that number turns out to be 2,795 gigatons, or roughly 5 times as much as the most conservative governments on Earth think it would be safe to burn. Ian, if you guys would like to come up and help, that would be great. Because beer is a good example of something that's beneficial at a certain level, and past a certain level, rather less so. You could have 2 or 3 of these, right, in the course of an evening, and maybe be able still to pass that test. It might not be wise for us to drive, but we'd be within bounds. That's the 565 gigatons that we can still burn, okay? The trouble is, and here's where these guys are really going to help out, the fossil fuel industry are just party animals, all right? They have 30 beers opened up on the table for each of us to drink tonight, all right? That's the 2,795 gigatons, okay, that we're talking about. And here's what we would say about him if he did it. At least these are the words we use in the US. We would say, and think about the Earth in this context, we'd say he'd be wasted, he'd be wrecked, he'd be polluted, he'd be smashed, he'd be ripped, he'd be trashed, he'd be toasted, he'd be totaled. If he survived, okay, the hangover would last several days. If we pour that carbon into the atmosphere, all right, then the hangover lasts for geologic time. That's what we're talking about. It's too much. Way, way too much. The first real big denomination in the world to divest, and announced it about 3 weeks ago, was the Uniting Church of Australia. Said they were selling their fossil fuel stock, and that makes great sense because if you're a church, what sense does it make to put your money in companies who are running Genesis backwards? Nothing radical about what we're asking for. Nothing at all. All we're asking for is a planet that works a little like the one that we were born onto. A planet that works somewhat like the one that every human being that we know about from the entire Aussies in the last 10,000 years was born onto. That's not a radical demand. If you think about it, it's actually a remarkably conservative demand.